Hey everybody, welcome back to another precision farming video with Jeff Dragon. I want to go through what it's like to plow out a brand new field and then go through the entire process of precision farming, setting a field up for the soil types, what should I plant on it, adding lime, and then I also wanted to show everybody what I have learned, give a recap on what I've learned. This video is for people that are experienced and for people that are brand new to precision farming, the DLC. Now make note that this is seasons, but if you play the version of this game without seasons, it should not matter in this video. The process from the precision farming, from plowing a brand new field to adding lime and then seeding or planting depending on the crop, and then adding nitrogen to the soil, how many times it needs to be done. The crop rotation planner also comes into play with seasons, but with the regular version of the game, or the game without seasons, it's going to be pretty similar. The step-by-step process that I'm going to go through is going to be pretty similar with what it would be for either version of this game, with or without seasons, okay? So this video is here to help players of all player types. So once I get done plowing this out, I'm going to finish up that other field and get started and explain as I go what's going on. One little bit here to go. Now I made sure also to create worker-friendly fields. And with the DLC Precision Farming, so this, I can fold this, put that right about there. With the DLC Precision Farming, there are buildings now that you can purchase, make your workers work, 11% faster. I will show you what that is in a moment. First I want to get this guy set up here. Leave the engine running. Walk over to here. Now I'm pretty much done, but I wanted to show I wanted to show everything as it happens. Now we're going to send soil samples for analysis. That is L1 and then triangle on the PlayStation 4. The soil samples are now sent to a laboratory for analysis. You will see the results on the soil type map soon. Okay. That's going to take a little bit. Probably takes about 10 seconds, depending on how large the field is. I will leave that right there for a moment. Then jump into the lime spreader. Now, you're always going to add lime to a brand new created field. So I've already got this worker set up to go. $500 in soil samples analysis total, so the samples are in. So I'll get back into this tractor with the ISARIAH Scout, is what it's called. That's what you want to get in the mod hub. Or actually, it comes with the Precision Farming DLC, of course. Once you download the Precision Farming DLC, this will be available for you to use. And I will show a little bit more about that in a moment. Whoops, I always forget that I left the engine running. So if we go over here and look around, this is nice because I want to plant oats here. So loam is best for oats. But loam will also work on, this is sandy loam, which is the green. But, whoop, worker H is blocked by an object. Wonder what that could be. Of course, it's the plow. I didn't think about that. Well, that's what happens sometimes when I have to temporarily tell that worker to move. If you can imagine, a worker just stepped out and I'm like, all right, I got this. I know you're just a worker in a video game. You don't have the power to jump out of the tractor and do it yourself. I understand this. Put the plow right about there. That's a 12-meter plow. John Deere, biggest plow in the game. Very nice. Get back into the lime spreader. And then the worker can take over again. And then I need to talk about the ISARIAH Scout for those that are new, what it does. Get the worker going right about there. Okay. But before I do that, I want to take the samples. Actually, let us check this out. Over to the Precision Farming help menu. The soil types: loamy sand, sandy loam, silty clay. You know, I have not found silty clay yet on this no man's land map. That's exciting. Maybe I will on this next field. Soil sampling. To determine which soil types is located where on the field, you have to analyze the soil first. This can be done with a soil sampling device such as the ISARIAH Scout, which is available in the shop. Drive to the multiple spots on the field with the soil sampling device. Take numerous soil samples until the field is fully covered dark red on the soil map. This color indicates where samples have already been taken. Well, I got out of the way just in time. Now, when it comes to taking samples, you're not going to know where to start first. So you've got your little circle there. And believe it or not, it's pretty large. So right about there is good. So you hit L1, take soil sample or square. So I look on the lower left-hand corner, right there. Take soil sample. Helper has completed their task. That's cool. Now I'm going to drop this lime spreader off over here for the next field. And also, in the meantime, I'm going to start seeding oats. All right, we'll leave that there. Well, I saw some flashing lights. I wonder what that was all about. Okay. Here we are with oats. Like I say, these are worker-friendly fields. That's the reason why I made them nice in a big open area, as square as possible. Actually, that's a bad spot. Overlap it just a little bit more. Now here is the process where there's no fertilizer in this seeder. So I'm just pretty much planting seeds straight into the soil. I'm not using the fertilizer that some seeder fertilizers can use. That's going to be done with the manure. After I finish up taking soil samples over here, I will follow up with this tractor and use it to spread manure. And then use that lime spreader to advance this video. So as you can see, oh, it automatically lowered it for me. Well, that's interesting. See, if I lift it, and then take the sample, it will lower it for me. Watch. Because the option of lifting it will be there again. See? It lowered it for me. And that's interesting. I didn't realize it actually did that. You don't even have to worry about lowering it. Right about there's good. So this is the process of taking soil samples. Let's look at the help menu, what it says. Oh, I already read that, but what I needed to read was the RTK station building for workers with the Precision Farming DLC. There are 2 new buildings available in the shop which have RTK antenna on top. This antenna provides a better GPS signal as long as the new buildings is placed on the map. The accuracy of the helpers is increased and they work up to 11% faster than before. Now I have the shed RTK, that's a shed station. It's also a shed. That's what I chose. So you got your storage and then you got your advances with GPS for workers. Very helpful. I have noticed it does work. It does work very nicely. So we don't need to go that far. See how I made it as worker friendly as possible? Got to make sure the trees are not going to get in the way. As long as it's got a flat edge on one side, let me show you. As long as it has, the fields have at least one straight edge, like this. Here, there's a 90-degree, nice straight edge to follow. Another one here. So when the worker works, I'll start the worker here, and it will gradually work its way towards this flat edge here. That's important when it comes to a worker-friendly field. All right, let us continue taking soil samples. Let's see here. Sometimes I get a little bit... Sometimes you can get a little lost. It's okay. This is a nice large field. I'm going to be planting barley here. I hope I get mostly loam. But from judging from the soil samples taken from that field that is being worked on right now, I think it's going to be mostly sandy loam. I really do hope I find a lot of loam, or maybe some silty clay. I think I can plant barley and silty clay, but I think loam is the best. One more. It's $100 per sample, by the way. So you got to make sure you've got the money. I'm only down to $2,000. Wow. Awesome. All right. Send samples for analysis. Wait about maybe 20 seconds, 10 to 20 seconds. Whoops, looks like the worker got stuck. I gotta head over there. Even though the worker's stuck, it's still costing me money. Don't worry, it takes a while sometimes. The larger the field, the longer it's going to take. You got to be patient. Don't worry, the game is not glitched. Okay. Wow, I did get some silty clay. But look how much loam this is. This is going to be perfect for barley. Now your silty clay, I believe, is for your root crops, your potatoes, sugar beets, and stuff like that. Some maps have carrots. All right, that looks like that manure spreader is in the way. I'm going to drop the ISARIAH Scout off right about here. That's a good spot for now. Once I get this out of the way, the worker will continue. And I can see what this manure spreader is going to do. So this is a 3,500 liter manure spreader. I like this mod because the flow rate is not that much. The nitrogen is not that high. It's adding, you see where the checkered flag is in the upper left-hand portion of the screen? Now I'm planting oats here. I want that to be at least higher than that. So I'm going to have to add another layer of fertilizer. Maybe tomorrow I can add some more. I think I can double up on the manure. I don't know. I'll have to wait till tomorrow. Or I could add some liquid fertilizer today. if it will let me. There is a minor glitch with the game when adding liquid fertilizer on top of fertilizer that you buy from the shop. I believe I can still add liquid fertilizer because I've added manure, because it works in the same way. If you plant your seeds with a fertilizer slash seeder all in one, the liquid fertilizer will not let you do it that same day, but you can add manure or slurry. So once this gets a couple more, okay, one worker is waiting for the other. Let's see what two workers do together here. How they work and coordinate. Not bad, not bad. Alright, so I'm going to jump out of here, go to the lime spreader worker. Boy, look how much money's going by very fast. And it's 20:25, which is 8:25 p.m. I'm going to have to sell some eggs, otherwise my workers are going to stop. Yeah, I'm going to teleport to my pickup truck, which already has some eggs in it. Now, the eggs are not ideally suited to sell at this time, but because I need to, because I do not want to take out any more loans. I'm already at $440,000 in the bank that I own. I don't want to make that anymore. At that point, loan interest starts to go up quite fast. So I do not want to do that. I think I'll sell some eggs. Right now, the price for eggs at the sell point, $3,740. That's not bad. That can get up to over $5,000 sometimes if there's a great demand for eggs. And I wanted to wait it out, but in this case, my workers are eating up so much of my money. Why don't I just sell this whole basket of eggs? I mean, whole pickup truck bed of eggs. Making all kinds of money. Do this as fast as possible so the workers okay. Got my tree log here, which I use to push these off rather than one by one. It saves a lot of time. Alright, I got like $10,000 there. That's enough for the rest of this video. Turn the truck off. Leave those eggs there for now. I'll come back to them. That's a lot of eggs. You didn't know that there was that much eggs in there. I know. That truck can fit a lot of eggs. Everything's going quite well. I'm going to teleport between my tractors and the 80 tools. I'm going to need this. The reason why is check this out. Look at the spotlight on that. This is good for working when it gets dark. Take this over here. Get some more light going on. Because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to refill. That's why I got my manure there in my wheel loader with the 8,000 liter mega bucket. I call it the mega bucket. I don't think that's the actual name for it. Oh yeah, and I got my spotlight here. Let's put the spotlight way on the edge down here. I'm going to leave my mower running. Bring it right about there. Just for the purposes of this video. I'm almost out of lime too. That's alright. I don't have to go to the shop. I've got lime in my multi-fruit station silo. Already there, over by the chickens. So that will not interfere with this video. I'm going to go to the screens now for precision farming. These are all my fields. These are all done for the year. There's corn here. Wheat here, which is still growing. There's some wheat here, which is still growing. And then there's corn, and corn, which I'll be harvesting in late fall. Here are the brand new fields that I just created with us here on this video. Look at the size of that one. Now you're talking. So I'm going to be planting oats here to keep up with my 2 horses, and then wheat is going to be, or barley, either one, to keep up with my chickens, and eventually I will have pigs, which I'm going to be putting over here on field 47, once I buy field 47. Because horses are over here. If I put pigs here, I'd have to chop down a lot of trees, and I don't want to put the pigs too close to the horses. I suppose I could put them maybe over here if I chop down the trees down, but it's still too close to the horses. Maybe I should buy a field 27. Keep the pigs away from the horses. Keep them separate. I'm sure the horses would not enjoy the pigs constantly making noises. Anyway, the fruit types, in case anybody's wondering, but that's not what this video is about. This is a precision farming video, but why not just show it real quick? Oh, we have run out of manure. So I'll go back to that screen in a second. I'll touch up on pH values, which is lime. I'll touch up on nitrogen values. Just get this video kind of a recap, an all-in-one video of precision farming, what it's all about, what you need to know. Kind of a tutorial, not really a tutorial. Tutorial gets a little bit more involved and doesn't cover so much, and there's much more parts. If you wanted to do a full tutorial, you'd probably have to watch 2 or 3 separate videos, maybe even up to 5 separate videos. That would take a lot longer than this one video. This one video pretty much tries to combine them all. Now I'm going to go with upper left-hand screen there. I'm hitting the triangle button. I'm going to go with barley. Because I already have enough wheat. And barley and wheat are pretty much interchangeable when it comes to animals. The markets are a little different. The seed type usage is a little different. But I've already planted enough wheat. I'm going to go ahead and just go with barley. Go ahead and get started. And I believe the worker with lime has run out of lime. But before I do that, I'm going to jump back into the manure spreader. And I'm going to turn up the environmental effects because it's pretty cool at night here. It's 8:30 at night. Turn that up to about 50. Vehicle volume is good. Continue where this worker left off. So I'm going to talk about the nitrogen in a moment. See where it's red? That's because I mowed everything out. If I had plowed this field fresh with grass, plowing it into the soil would have added about 40 or 60 nitrogen to the soil just from the grass itself. But because I mowed the grass before I plowed the field and made hay, I made hay a little bit earlier, that grass is gone now, so it's not going to add nitrogen to the soil. So that's why it is now an orange color. It should be green for oats. I need to address the worker over there with the lime before the worker that is seeding catches up. But before I do that, I wanted to continue talking about the precision farming screen. There are your soil types. That's going to take too long to talk about for this video. I'm going to go to pH, which is lime. The pH looks good for both fields. See where the worker is to the far right there on that larger field? To the right of the number 38, that worker has now run out of lime. I need to add more, but I'm glad it did because you can see the contrast between having lime versus not having lime. The greener, the better. I've noticed if you really want to get down to having good yields, it used to be 3 limes per in between harvests. I actually do 2 now, but that's with seasons. It could be different with the version of this game without seasons, but it may be similar. I'm not sure. I don't really play the version of this game without seasons. So I do it every 2 now, believe it or not, instead of every 3. Precision farming has changed the game. So I'm going to teleport over to that worker that is waiting for more lime. I got a lot of vehicles. There it is. Drive over to the multi-grain fruit silo and get some more and continue and finish this up. And follow up. I need to follow up with liquid fertilizer because, like I said, I believe I can add liquid fertilizer to clean that up. Make the... Whoops, I almost ran over the ISARIAH scout. To make that nitrogen value a lot better. But like I said, the nitrogen value would have been okay if I had not mowed the grass. Because I made hay. As you can see, somewhere on the field, you see remnants of hay. Yeah, I was hurrying to pick it up, collect it with my milling machine, which then I put all the hay in my multi-fruit storage silo, because I already have enough bales. Another thing I need to discuss is when the worker is in precision farming, there, it'll turn off now. As soon as this is not a worker, of course, this is just me driving now. It will spread lime for you, and you don't need to turn off the lime spreader itself once it starts. Right now, I'm just hitting the drive button. It's going to turn off now. It turned off there by itself, and now it turned on by itself for some reason. It's not supposed to do that. That was weird. It's supposed to turn itself off. Well, there was a recent update. Maybe the update actually caused that, because it didn't do that before. Before the update, the lime spreader would turn itself off. Okay, I'm going to leave the lime spreader, this is a good spot, out of the way. Normally I would put that where it's supposed to go in storage, but that would make this video, a little bit too long. Now I can go with this tractor. Now I'm going to grab the liquid fertilizer sprayer, which can only be used if you add slurry or manure on the same day. If you add a cedar slash fertilizer or a planter slash fertilizer, I'm talking about the ones in the shop where you actually buy the fertilizer and add it to the cedar planter, that type. If you use that type and then try to add liquid fertilizer, it will not let you on the same day. I know I've pretty much been talking about that a lot, but it's very important because it's confusing, and it took me a while to figure out. It's just a minor glitch. This stuff right here, which is herbicide, I need to switch that out. Helper G is blocked by an object. Okay, I'll have to see what that's all about. Here I have fertilizer ready to go. Hopefully I have enough. Very good. And this liquid fertilizer recommends having the 1,500 kilogram weight. Whoops. That's that drone. It's got the collisions for other vehicles. It's kind of annoying. Watch. Not really part of this video. I do like this mod, by the way. That's see how it's colliding? That needs to be tightened up, in my opinion, so it's not so, but whatever. It is a nice mod because I have crop destruction turned on and some weeds that will pop up. That is a herbicide spreader drone. but the flow rate on that herbicide spreader drone is terrible. It's very expensive. Do not use it to fertilize or spread herbicide on your field. You're going to be spending a fortune. Whereas this mod goes, the flow rate on this is excellent. Definitely worth it. You will get your money's worth on this. And since I mentioned it, I might as well show it in the garage. This here's the Lizard Rubicon, which does both fertilizing and herbicide. Use that for just small weeds that pop up with the seasons. This doesn't apply to people without seasons. It's a different types. Weeds are different in that version of the game. But this is just small little spots of weeds when the crops are too tall. And if I run a tractor with this, it'll ruin the crops. And then, that drone, of course, doesn't ruin the crops. And then this one here, make sure you get the one that's 10 miles per hour. There's two different versions. There's the upgraded one. Look at the spread on that, 24 meters. And the flow rate on this is excellent. And as you can see, it recommends the ACO 1500 weight. Now this I can hire a worker. That's how you know too. If you cannot hire a worker, I wonder why that worker is blocked. There's nothing in front of it. If you hire a worker, and it lets you, that means you know it's good. You don't just want to start and do it yourself because you think you're spreading it when you're not. If the worker lets you do it, then you know you're good. In which case the worker is working diligently. So this is good. Now the lower left-hand corner of the screen, you can see it's starting to go to the colors where I like. And then tomorrow, maybe I can add some more manure to that. If it will let me. I'm pretty sure it will. Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't I be able to add 2 layers of manure? Actually, I've never tested that, believe it or not. That's funny. As long as I've been playing this game, I've never tested that. Now I need to figure out what this worker... Oh! This worker. Okay. The other one must have... Okay. Let's see here. In real life, this lawnmower would have been crushed. Helper G has completed their task. So, okay, sometimes that happens. That's why you need your field as square as possible. It doesn't register it sometimes if it's at a steep angle. So that's my fault. Even though I said it's worker-friendly fields, it turns out it's not. So I need to... Helper F. Who's Helper F? Oh, okay. And then for some reason, this helper stopped. Because I ran out of manure. Okay. That's all right. Oh, see how the manure line stopped? That's okay. I'll just start from the other corner. That's all. That's how I'll fix that. Once this worker is done... Oh, wow, look at that. I'm down to 11 manure. Can't plan it any better than that for the purposes of a video. Awesome. So that is precision farming. So once that worker, which is done, by the way, I can actually start on this edge of the field knowing that it's going to eventually catch up. And this worker is already starting to fertilize this field now. Awesome. That's because of those RTK buildings. These right here. That's what you get. They get smarter too. Let's talk about the economic analysis screen. I don't know if that's important or not. I've talked about it in other videos. That's another video all in itself. The yield map. The greener the better. Self-explanatory. Nitrogen values are fertilization. pH values are for lime. Helper, I got another worker that's blocked from this. Got a lot of workers. I should title this video Blocked Workers. Okay, I gotta dismiss the worker. That other worker doesn't like the field there. It's not recognizing it. And bringing this mower out here was actually not a good idea. It's just in the way. So he's going to go hang out with the horses. Give me a teleportation point for tomorrow when I need to take care of these horses. I got 2 of them now. So that's what I'm going to do with this mower. I knew there was a reason for it. It's my teleport spot. Teleport, there we go. So this worker is going to overlap a little bit, but you see the fertilizer? Do you see? It's only down to, it only used a little bit. It was at 98%. It's now to 87%. That's only 11%, and that was including that other field. So that is why I like this mod a lot. It's worth the money. You will not go into much costs for your fields using that mod. And make sure you get the one that's 10 miles per hour. I may have to just finish this one up. Or once it gets to those edges, I have to make sure because this cedar barley has got to hurry up because that fertilizer spreader is going to catch up. The liquid fertilizer, that is. So let's talk about some more precision farming, since that's what this video is about. I hope I've covered more than I've covered in other videos. I tried to make this video cover everything. So now I'm looking at about 160 on the field that I'm on right now. These 2 guys are going to collide. Ooh, watch out. So I got to wait till that worker's done. Just going to park that right there for now. It's getting late. Late summer, year 3. And it looks like I'm not going to have enough manure for today. Maybe I will. Hold on a second. I believe that worker was supposed to stop. Because I believe it's finished up to that point. So what I'm seeing is an accidental discovery. I'm adding 2 layers of manure on the same day. If I'm not mistaken, that's what this worker is doing. This worker is adding 2 layers of manure on the same day and increasing the nitrogen levels respectively. Wow. Wow, look at that. Yes, it is. Because when the worker had run out of manure, it was right about here. Now you see where it says nitrogen bad? That's just for the soil type. It has nothing to do with the seed itself. Because oats like lots of nitrogen. Or maybe the soil type having too much nitrogen will be bad for the yield regardless of the seed type. Looks like I'm adding too much nitrogen. But I know oats like a lot of nitrogen. So that's interesting. That's something I really can't test until this gets harvested. And since I'm on 9 days per season, that's going to take quite a while. Well, that's an unexpected discovery. So it's letting me add 2 layers of manure on the same day. It says it's over-fertilized, but that's because the soil type says. But for the seed type, I've done my research, and oats like a lot of nitrogen. You would think, right? I don't know. I don't have a dictionary in front of me. I don't have a farmer's almanac in front of me. I guess I'd have to go look it up myself. Do oats require a lot of nitrogen to grow properly? I don't know. I just assume they did. There's a lot that goes on with this precision farming DLC. A lot of discoveries, things that I still have not discovered. So I guess in order to really test this out, I need to leave it alone. I need to leave it let be for the purposes of testing, and then I'll make a future video. That's not going to be for a while. And I'm going to see what kind of yield I get for taking a row here, and how much I get for taking a row all the way down this way. And I'll make sure I stop right here for both rows when I do the test, just to see how much I get from the harvester. Yeah, that'll be a good test. Actually, it's going to be right about here because the harvester, and then see how much I get in one pass. If it's over fertilized, then this pass is going to get less than this pass over here, according to the soil type. See, it says perfect at 100 for sandy loam for the fruit type of oats. Here it says fruit type oats, nitrogen bad for sandy loam, same soil type. But the thing is, the test is I think oats will get a better yield with more nitrogen than with less nitrogen. But for this game, that definitely needs to be tested. So that's what I will do, and I'll make sure I make a video on it. It'll probably be about a week from now, because when it comes to precision farming, even though I'm planting it this summer, late summer, you would think that I would get maybe another 2 harvests in 1 year, where I would be able to harvest this all the way up until the mid-spring. No, that is not the case. It actually is not going to let me harvest this again until next summer, day 7, even though I'm planting it now. I tested this for sure. I know what I'm talking about because I've tested it. I thought, because one time I planted wheat on day 1, not on this geo, another geo, the geo that was a little bit warmer, and then I harvested on day 7, planted on day 7, a different type of crop, I think it was maybe oats or was canola, and thinking I was going to be able to get a harvest maybe in the early winter, but no, it actually carried over until day 7 of summer again, so that it does not matter. So I'm going to have to wait a while. It could take up to 2 weeks for me to make that video for this test. I think that covers everything. Of course, my worker doesn't recognize the field because it's at a sharp angle. Make sure you take that. I need to actually square this up a little bit, kind of like steps. But first I'd have to cut down quite a few of those trees to make this field a little more worker friendly. Okay? Everybody have a great day. Thanks. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you like this comment. Thanks.